Hello, I'm Rob.
And I'm Andy.
Welcome to another edition of Press X. This time, we're talking about annual games.
Yeah, annual games. Games that come out every year.
Specifically, FIFA and WWE. These are games that, in my experience anyway, you'll have games that you'll buy to tide you over, but the one that you keep on coming back to is this one big annual game. I mean, some people buy multiplayer online shooters, other people buy MMOs. Me, personally, it's going to be a sports game.
Yeah, but I like to call them updates, especially more related to FIFA at the minute.
Yeah, so we'll jump straight in with FIFA, and we'll talk about ways which we would like to see these things improved.
So I think when we're looking at FIFA, though, I think, to me, it's the change of colour palette that did it for me this year. It took a game which was slightly different. I mean, they overhauled career mode a few years ago, but they've changed the colour this year and added licenses. And for me, it's made it just dull.
I just don't care. Yeah,
it's all Ultimate Team, I think, for a year at the minute. And I haven't played it, not for years.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't put a number on the amount of hours that I spent on FIFA 18. Let's just call it hundreds. Whereas this FIFA 19, I just don't care.
Yeah, it's... I'm like, they haven't changed much. It's more of a... Well, as I've said, they've changed the colour of it and they've added licenses, but I think it's a bit dull at the minute. They need to add something. And this is... I think my first is need to overhaul the career mode.
That's not just one thing, though, is it? That could be an entire episode of this little mini-sode. It was just what's wrong with career mode.
Well, there used to be a game alongside FIFA, which was FIFA Manager. And I think that it would be really cool and really interesting to see that implemented into career mode. Because you could do everything on that game.
Was that the one where you could... Well, it's basically LMA Manager, but with FIFA in it.
No, it was basically FIFA career mode, but it was massive. You even had live draws where you could, similar to LMA, where you could sit and watch the draw. And I loved that. I loved that better than playing the game, to be honest. But you could change your stadium. You could put sponsors in your stadium.
Oh, I remember that now. That was so fun.
It was just. I spent ages just making a stadium, and you could change your crest, and you could change your kits, and I loved it. And you didn't have to manage the team. Yeah,
I mean, that's difficult now because of all the licensing, but I think they could still do it if you made your own team from scratch. So then you don't have to worry about ruining some team's lovely licensed kit or badge or stadium or whatever. You can just be a completely fresh, brand new team.
Well, the Football Manager has added a bit of that now with their fantasy team type of.
Yeah.
And it was that, but it was on a much bigger scale. And put that in the manager mode. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, my first one is largely the same, but a bit more extreme. FIFA 20, let's say, because that'll be the next one. Should be 2 games.
Ooh, how so?
Because it basically is already, isn't it? I mean, they put all the time, they put all the money into FIFA Ultimate Team, and it costs. They get a lot of money from that, a ridiculous amount of money, like all the money they could possibly want from that.
Oh yeah, they will. It'll be a lot more than what the game will sell for.
And it's all on that though. It seems like they're struggling to legally make that a thing, because Belgium said basically that Ultimate Team packs are gambling, and you're not allowed to put gambling in games like that.
I mean, I like the idea of the mode.
Yeah.
But if they put it in as an offline version of the game,
that'd be nice. Yeah.
Totally offline, where you can't use the cards online.
Let's just say that online and offline Ultimate Team is one game.
Yeah.
And the other game is the more traditional offline game. So you've got like manager mode, you've got cups, leagues. Like a pretty stripped back version of the game, but the whole point of that game is manager mode, career mode.
Yeah.
And have them two separate entities. Because the audiences are not the same thing, and trying to sell the same thing to such a diverse audience in this era where everything is different, everything is its own special little corner, seems a bit redundant, really.
Yeah.
And I think you'd win back a lot of goodwill from a lot of people who essentially are very angry about what FIFA's become.
Oh, definitely. I think Another thing I would change as well is, ironically, it's also in the career mode. And it'll be the re-edition of Player Manager.
I never played that.
It was basically, you can be a player and then a manager now, but you have to be a player and then retire and then be the manager.
So you can't be both?
Yeah, but you used to be able to just play all the time, like be a player and a manager. And also, which has just come to my head actually, I want to be a referee in career mode.
Ooh, that is a good idea.
Maybe you get points, like you go up your career ranking for how fair you call the games. So you don't get carried away and find a team you don't like and go, that was offside, red card, you scored a goal, go off the pitch. And it'll be fun online.
Yeah.
Might not be fun for the other person, but it'll be fun online.
That's true. You could really mess with them, couldn't you? You could do, wasn't that thing on the new one about it's basically no holds barred? You can set sort of any sort of rules,
that was another addition, which I always thought they already done, because you can turn fouls on and off. You can your bookings and offsides on and off anywhere. But they added that this year. I honestly don't know what they've added.
My other thing I would happily do is a new mode. Well, not a new mode. It's an old mode, but FIFA Street.
Oh yes.
Bring FIFA Street back and put it in as a mode. Yeah. Or is it its own thing? I don't know. EA are literally the most greedy company in the world when it comes to making all the money. So make FIFA Street a game again. And
best thing is they had FIFA Street, like FIFA Street Football, in the journey mode.
Yeah, they did in the first sort of, and I played 18. It's like the first mission, first bit, isn't it?
And I enjoyed that.
It held up very well.
But yeah, be a bit more adventurous here, please.
As for anything else, that's a tricky question, isn't it?
You can't change too much for the game of football, can you?
No, I mean I'd like training in the career mode to be a bit more flexible. And when you've got a youth player, don't say that this youth player has a potential of overall rating 68 to 70 because he's a youth player. He can be as good as his career lets him.
Yeah.
So take off that sort of limiter and be a bit more open with what the training is and what it can be and what it can do.
I like it. And maybe you could have random events where, similar to Football Manager, where they don't show up for training or...
Yeah. Also, on the youth thing, have a youth league. A youth team league.
Yeah.
So it promotes you to actually push your youth squad.
I like that. And they could even randomise the youth team so you don't have to put much, they could have default crests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't have to be much, but it'd be good to play, and you see the two courts on the side for goalposts.
Well, maybe if you're in the lower leagues.
So I like that.
I think we've done a good job in FIFA there. We've given them some food for thought. Yeah. So moving on to WWE 2K, whatever.
Yes. Well, where do we start with this one, Rob? Where do we start?
I'll go first with a most extreme suggestion. Take it off Jukes, whatever they're called.
I think it actually is Ukes.
The reason is they've had it for way too long. They've had it for it must be at least a decade now. And the engine is really showing its age. I mean, you don't need to take it off them really, but they need to do something that refreshes it because it's a very old and tired engine.
Actually, Ukes might be early SmackDown. It might be nearly 20 years.
As long as that? Wow.
There it was. At least SmackDown Just Bring It, and that was 2001, I think.
Oh wow, that's an age-old engine, and it's not changed a lot. It's got neater and tidier, but it is the same engine.
Oh yeah, I mean the graphics have got a lot better.
Yeah.
I've went back and played Just Bring It.
No, I assume that's why it's so buggy because the engine's so old.
It does seem. I mean, I know they can say what can you do with wrestling in the same way and say what can you do with football, but I think a lot of it is in the career or universe aspects of the game.
Yeah.
Needs a rehaul. Needs a revamp.
It's fine.
Oh, yeah, I spend most of the time I play the game I spend on universe. But, I mean, there's bugs in it. There's the same cutscene of the superstar coming out and sitting down where watches the match, interferes, starts a rivalry. And that needs to change, I think. I get tired of watching it over and over and over again.
I've turned the rivalries off. I'm not tired of them.
Yeah, but even if you make them yourself, it's still going to do it. Even if it's an intense rivalry, you still comes on sister's side instead of basically attacking you every 5 minutes. But that and add a general manager element.
I never played that, so what was general manager mode?
Basically, you started off with a draft, and you drafted your roster, and then either a computer or your mate that sat next to you, local multiplayer, drafted the other roster, and they did it with ECW as well, so you could have 3.
Yeah.
And you basically competed for the ratings for your shows. You had like joint storylines sometimes, and you could like slander and you could interfere and stuff. And at the end, you'd win General Manager of the Year award.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
But maybe add that as an option in universe mode. Have the computer or another friend, just even if it's online, take control of the other show.
Yeah, that's nice.
Or steal your superstars. You could do that as well. But yeah, please.
I have 3, so I'll go through the second one quickly. It's extend all the edit stuff across the board. I mean, you can make a character who looks like literally anything. Oh,
yes. That's the best bit, to be fair.
But the music and the commentary, I mean, how many times... I mean, I got Kazukichi Okada, who was like probably the best wrestler who's ever laced up his boots. But I've got to name him Rain Maki, as in Rainmaker, because the names that are being provided by the commentary to introduce this character woefully bad.
Just add a few more names, basically.
Yeah, and they flesh it out. I mean, throw in some birds, throw in some natural things, throw in some random Japan. I mean, there's another one. Randomly, a Japanese wrestler who had to retire early called Katsuyori Shibata, whose full name's on there for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
But yet, like, some English names aren't.
Yeah, it's just so scattergun about what... And the other one is have all of the intro songs be equal volume.
Oh.
Because the licensed ones, like Active Wrestler or Legend Wrestler, are really loud. But the created ones exclusively for this game are really quiet. Whereas your created characters come into the ring and you're not sure whether there's any music on his intro.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that one as well.
It's just consistency, you know. It makes career mods, universe mods, so much better.
Yeah, and this is hard for us, for anybody listening, because we really enjoy playing this game.
Oh yeah,
and I really want to see a bit more modes added. I want to be a referee. So please, 2K, please bring referee. You've done it in career mode. Just add the mode, please.
And
I want to, even if you get that screw job button like you did like about 4 years ago, where you can, if you got them in a submission, if you had like 3 specials, you could press a button and just end the match. That was brilliant. It was amazing online as well. But, Oh, and King of the Ring in, please. I want to add King of the Ring in universe mode.
Yeah, it's a proper thing, not just a tournament. My last one is have different play styles. So like you can have like bruiser, you can have high fly, you can have luchador, you can have submission wrestler. And there's different subsets and different groups of types of style that these things wrestle as. So not every wrestler wrestles the same or feels the same. So your Braun Strowman won't feel the same as a Daniel Bryan, but they do right now. So you can have these different play styles, these different, well, how they create, how they move, and how they whatnot. You know, to feel different.
I like it. I know. They did fix it a bit. Now Rey Mysterio can't body slam Andre the Giant like 10 years.
No.
But yeah, and please improve it. And also, if EA does listen, have a look at 2K and how they change the menu every year for.
I love the menu. I love the menu on this year's WWE game. It's fab.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this is the sort of thing that we could sort of approach annually and see what needs fixing.
Well, yes, and hopefully it's not the same conversation we have every year.
Hopefully not. But anyway, this has been Press X. I have been Rob.
And I've been Andy.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.